We're live. there's, there's always a delay. And I look over at my other screen and I'm waiting for it to tell me. And then I look back and it's like, and you're live. Oh my gosh, most awkward, like 2 to 3 seconds in the beginning ever. Welcome, everyone. How are you? Happy Monday. I hope everyone is having a wonderful start to the week. We are winding down the school year over at our house. My 5-year-old had his last Zoom call today, and oh, you guys, I think I could have cried my eyes out. They had a musician come on and play Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and all the little 5-year-olds talked about their favorite part of kindergarten. It was like me, weeping over here in the corner. Can't believe the year went that fast. And then my daughter, she has her last day tomorrow. They're doing a bubblegum party. How fun is that? I guess it's a first grade tradition that they do a bubblegum party and they all get to blow bubbles on a Zoom call together. That part's the different part, not in real life, but she did get to see her teacher today and pick up a couple things. So that is the story at our house. Hey, Shelly, glad you're on. Say hello as you guys are joining in. Let me know. We're talking books tonight. We're going to talk about some of the things I'm reading and some of my favorites of all time. So I'd love to hear how's school going for you guys? Are you wrapping things up? Are you almost done for the year? It's been a crazy few months, but I think we are finally winding down and looking forward to having a little bit of a break from the morning Zoom calls and my kids are pretty good about doing the homework that's been assigned, but still a little bit of a battle there. So excited to be here tonight, kicking off summer with you. We're officially on summer break tomorrow. Hey, Julie, glad you're on. Hey, Amy, good to see you guys. So good to see you. You guys let me know. Are your kids still in school? Are you done? Are you done for the year? I feel like in California, we end maybe a little bit later. I feel like a lot of people wrap up around Memorial Day, but we're still trucking along for a couple more days. Anyway, I am excited to share with you guys tonight just a little bit of what I am reading and some of my favorite books on my bookshelf. I'm always doing live videos and people are like, what are all those books behind you? Or what's in the pile over here? So I'm here to share a couple of the things that I've been reading. And, if you are in direct sales and you are looking for some motivation or inspiration, like picking up a good book, I mean, that's the way to do it, right? Like, I think for me, anytime I've been in a slump in my business or kind of trying to figure out what's coming next for me, I'm always thinking, like, what do I need to be listening to? Right? Is it a training? Is it a podcast? Is it on Audible? Or what do I need to be reading? Because I know that the answers are going to come to me in one of those places, right? So in case you're in that type of spot, or maybe you're just planning on lounging by the pool this summer and need some new books to listen to on Audible, or I was going to say like toss in your suitcase and take with you on summer vacation, but I know not that many of us are traveling right now. So just wanted to run through a couple of my favorites. One more. You were done last week. Oh, last week, Amy. That's so nice. So nice. Hopefully you guys are already enjoying pool time and sunshine and all that good stuff. I also have been listening a lot on Audible. So I have some books here with me, but full disclosure, I have been using Audible for a lot of my reading. So I'll share with you a little bit of what I've been reading on Audible. And what I find interesting on Audible is when I'm listening to a title and then it gives you recommendations based on what you're listening to, you kind of go in like spurts, right? So like I went through like a phase where all I was listening to was books about making money. They were all like money, money, money books. And then now I'm kind of into like more of a coaching cycle where I'm listening to more books, that are more around coaching people and asking questions. I'll share a little bit with you about that too. I don't know if anyone else finds that, but when you're on Audible, it's like, if you like this, then you're going to probably like that. So I go in a little bit of phases there, but all-time favorites. All right. Let me pull from my stack. And there's so many good ones, you guys. There's too many books that I could even talk about. I think I'm such a nerd. I swear that like after college and grad school, I was like, yeah, I'm not planning on like reading for fun. I'm kind of like, I was like liberal arts major and I did a lot of reading through school. And I remember thinking like, it's going to be a while before I pick up a book. But honestly, like I love reading these books and they leave me so motivated. So here's a few of my favorites from my pile, and then I'll talk to you about the ones that I've been listening to on Audible. Rory Vaden, Procrastinate on Purpose. If you guys haven't read this one, it is really good. You probably have heard his book, Take the Stairs. That is a very popular direct sales book. And this one, Procrastinate on Purpose, has a little bit of a different perspective. But it's all about, I can review the back. You've tried managing your time, prioritizing your time. Sound familiar? But how do you multiply it? So there was a quote out of this book that, the things that I spend time on today is going to multiply tomorrow. So I use that mantra for a really long time. Like if I'm working on a blog post today, I want to be able to use that in 10 different ways tomorrow. Or if I'm creating a course today, I really want to be making money on that course further out, right? So really prioritizing the work that is going to multiply your time. Or if I'm going to record a video on how to train my direct sales team that I'm going to be able to share with direct sellers over and over and over again, that is going to save me some time the next day and the day after and the day after. And so I really love this book. It's kind of, I think, a fun title too, like Procrastinate on Purpose, because there's probably a lot of books out there saying that you shouldn't procrastinate. But really, this is all about prioritizing and doing what's most important and going to give you the most time freedom and going to give you kind of the biggest bang for your buck in the future. So totally a fan of Roy Vaden and Procrastinate on Purpose. That's a goodie. Eric Worre, GoPro, like total classic direct sales team building book. If you haven't read this, you need to read this. I love his framework, his approach, his recommendations on like understanding how to present the business to people in a way that makes sense. And how to nurture relationships and follow up with people, I think is huge as well. He does provide some scripting in here. I find it a little like, it's a little maybe not my style, but I think it's a good foundation, and it's taught me a lot about how to approach relationships that I have with my customers and potential teammates. So GoPro, Eric Worre, that's a classic direct sales book. This is not direct sales specific, but I think it's extremely relevant to direct sales. Donald Miller's Building a Story Brand. So if you are working on your personal brand, if you're working on sharing your story and maybe how you fell into direct sales and how that has changed your business and that has changed your life, and being able to share with your customers more about your brand and more about your story, this is a really, really good one. So if you're thinking about creating an email series, or you're working on a website or a blog, or really just trying to kind of up your presence on social media, I think that this is such a good one as you're thinking about how you want to show up and in what voice you want to show up. So again, not necessarily a direct sales book, but extremely relevant to direct sellers. This is a really good one. I just realized I didn't make sure this was sharing over in the group. Are you guys watching it in the group? Let me know if you're watching it in the group. If not, join our group. It's myconsultanttrainingtribe.com on Facebook, myconsultanttraining.com tribe, your spot to grow your direct sales business. I just want to make sure that it's posting. Sometimes Facebook does funny things and I have to approve my own posts in my own group by myself. Oh, good. It's shared. Perfect. So I don't know if you're watching it on my page or my group, but it's in both places. Okay, awesome. So building a story brand, definitely check this one out. This one is a really good one. Donald Miller. And I'll give you guys some links to all of these afterwards. Most of them I have linked up in my blog post on my favorite professional development books for direct sellers. So I'll pull that up here in a minute. Okay, if you are a leader or if you have a vision of building a team, the coaching habit is a good one. Okay, again, this is not a direct sales specific book, but it's all about asking the right questions and changing the way that you are leading your team. Hey, Nicole, glad you're on. Good to see your face or your profile picture face. So this is a great one if you're leading people. If you're leading people, you're talking to people, especially in direct sales. If you're a leader, you know how some of those conversations go. They can easily go down the rabbit hole of like excuse after excuse of what's not working and this isn't working and that's not working and I don't know what to do. This book is going to give you the framework to really approach those conversations in a constructive way where you are going to be able to say less. You're not going to be the answer person giving them all the answers. Ask more questions and let them kind of work into a coaching conversation to discover the right answers and help them figure it out and give them the tools to figure it out and what they need to be doing next in their business. So I really, really love this one. I highly recommend it. And it's like an easy read too. Like it's sometimes I think we think about coaching, we think about it being like, very academic. This is very, very like applicable and easy to read. Maybe not quite a book by the pool, but definitely one that you can get through light summer reading and learn a lot from. All right, I have one more actual book here, and then I'll talk to you a little bit about what I've been listening to on Audible. Boss Up by Lindsay Teague Moreno. I just love her. I think she's amazing, and I love her podcast, and I loved her first book. And this is her newest book that I've read, Boss Up, Ain't Your Mama's Business book. So again, this isn't specifically for direct sales, but she does have multiple businesses, one of which is a MLM type business. And so her story is really cool. I would say that this is good. Look at how pretty it is too, right? It's really pretty. This is a good, kind of conversational book. It's entertaining. You're going to laugh at the stories that she shares. It's very conversational. So if you're looking for a good one that's sitting by the pool while your kids are playing to kind of read through the summer, I think that you're going to really love this one. Especially if you're just starting out, whether that's direct sales or your own business, and you're kind of trying to figure out what's next for you and how to figure out exactly what you want to be doing, but you want to be doing something. I think this is a really, really good one. And then if you're more seasoned and you've been in your business for a bit longer, then I think the second half of the book, you're going to really, really enjoy. The first part you might find a little bit okay, I kind of get that. That's that makes sense. But then when you get into the second part, you're going to really, really love it. So Boss Up, Lindsay Teague Moreno, highly recommend it. And then the latest I've been listening to on Audible. So like I said, I went through my money-making book phase. And I love You Are a Badass. I love the original. And I also like the You Are a Badass at Making Money. That one is really good. And also Chillpreneur by Denise Duffield Thomas. And I love the Audible. She's Australian. She's got a great accent. And I loved listening to her. There is, some bad words here and there. So if you're listening, maybe on a headset if you have kids around. But I really, really loved, I loved that book and learned a lot from just how I want to approach my business. I love the idea of being a chillpreneur and being chill, but also an entrepreneur that's making some good money too. So she does a lot on mindset and a lot on, putting it out there to the world of what you want and taking daily actions to make it happen. And so a lot of what she shared in that book is really how I've been building my business, at least over the last 6 months or so since I read that book. Dare to Lead by Brene Brown. Anything Brene Brown is really, really good. It's a little bit heavier There's a lot more like, she's an academic, you could say. So that one's a little bit heavier. I had a harder time listening to that one on Audible. I think I would have done better with the actual book in front of me. But most of these books on Audible now, you can go to the website and they give you like downloads where you can get like the workbook to go with it, or you can get the visuals from the book downloaded, which has been helpful for me on some stuff that I would like to see it a little bit more than just hear it. So those ones I've been into. And then the latest that I've been reading is Change Your Questions, Change Your Life. And again, hey, Brianna, good to see you, girl. It's not a direct sales book. It's more, it kind of goes through this whole process of, a guy at work that's a technical manager and he gets promoted into leadership. And then once he's in leadership, he is like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm leading this team and like nothing's going right. And like he basically is ready to turn in his letter of resignation. And his manager sees the potential in him and suggests that he meets with a coach. And the rest of the book is really like carrying on conversations that take place between him and his coach and sharing different frameworks that he can use as he's managing his employees and as he is growing the profit of his business. And he ends up like, rocking it, of course, and does really well with it. So I definitely loved the way the story was told. So it was very conversational. It felt like I was like sitting there kind of just spying in on listening on how this conversation was going down between him and his coach, and then him and how he's talking to his wife. And it was a good one. It was a pretty quick read, and I really got a lot out of that one. So I highly recommend that. And let's see, what was the other one I was going to mention? Oh, you guys, there's so many. I think I could listen to books all day long. Where's my Audible library? Let me see if there's any that I missed. That the first Denise Duffield Thomas book is Get Rich, Lucky Butch. So that one's real good too, as well as her Chillpreneur book. I listened to the Everyone is Figureoutable by Marie Forleo. Love me some Marie Forleo. Really, it was a really good read. It had a similar feel to me as like Rachel Hollis's Girl Wash Your Face, if you've read that one. Michelle Obama's Becoming, that was way longer. That was like way longer than any of these books. I feel like it took me a lot longer to get through that. Atomic Habits by James Clear. You guys have heard me talk about that book here in the group quite a bit. I love his approach to creating strong business habits and personal habits, and it's very actionable and it's entertaining the way that it's written. There's so many good ones out there for your summer reading. I'd love to hear what you guys are reading and what books that you're loving on your bookshelf and what you're planning on reading this summer. And I'm glad you guys tuned in today. I'm also joining in a book club, which I'm excited about too. My friend Ashley Harper, she is running the book club and I'm just starting it, but it's the book, The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. And I'm excited to dive into that and have more of a discussion around it as well. So all kinds of good summer reading that you guys got to check out. So thank you for being on today. If you guys are not in our group, make sure you join our My Consultant Training group. I'll link up the blog post with my recommendations and summaries of all of these titles that I love oh so much. And I will be back with you next Monday night at 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern. I know it's late, so sorry, East Coasters. But I'm gonna actually share a little bit about my own book. Do you know I have a book? 52 Tips to Build a Thriving Direct Sales Business. So I'm going to share some of the tips from that book live with you next Tuesday. And maybe I'll share a little bit of insight of like how I actually wrote that book and what the process has been. Because I did work with a hybrid publisher on it. And that was a really interesting process just in writing it and launching it and working alongside an actual publisher. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I look forward to seeing you over in the group and I'll talk to you soon. All right. Have a good one. See ya.